Hi, my name is Chifa and welcome to the second episode of my podcast. In this video, I will be ranting. Kaya, kung nanonood ka sa YouTube or somewhere on other platform, exit mo siya, i-play mo, kasi medyo mahaba-haba to. I'm gonna lean back a little bit. So last time, we talked about DIY Umrah vlog. I'm still wearing the same outfit because I feel like this is gonna be my signature look for the whole episodes in the coming episode. So this is gonna be my look. Oh, let's come back. So let's do a quick recap of the episode 1. If hindi nyo pa napapanood yung episode 1, panoorin nyo kasi andun halos ng mga detalye. Etong episode na to, this second episode is more on the adventure and the storytelling itself and more of the ranting kung ano nangyari sa DIY Umrah and then some tips and some tricks. But if you really want like the proper how to do it, andun siya sa episode 1. I'll show you this one. Look at him. No, it's a her. Actually, it's a her. Look at that cute little baby. This is mommy's baby. Oh, say meow. What's your name, baby? Tell them your name. Hi, my name is To. My name is To. Ikaro. So, as you know, we did our last Umrah DIY style. We did everything ourselves. We booked everything ourselves. And in this episode, it's going to be a story time and tips and tricks of the things that we did. So, firstly, paano kami nag-Umrah? Paano kami pumunta doon? Siyempre, sumakay kami ng aeroplano. Paano pa naman pupunta doon? Stop wriggling. Stop wriggling. Are you 7 weeks? You look like 3 months. You look like you eat every chicken in this house. Ay, cute. I love you. Flappy. You're too flappy. I love you. I love you. I get easily distracted with my cats. Hindi kami pumunta doon at the very beginning. My parents went there a week before Ramadan. Pumunta na sila doon February 25 and they asked us kung gusto ba naming sumama at magstay doon ng 1 month because they usually stay there a month. And then my husband is working, I'm working. No, my husband can't be absent for that long. So, maximum of 15 days lang talaga yung leave niya. So, ako naman, at that time, I was doing some events. So, I cannot be there for a month. And I'm going to class as well. Nag-aaral din ako. So, sabi ko, no, hindi namin kaya yun. So, nangyari, wala pa kaming ticket. We haven't bought our ticket because we were not sure. We haven't decided fully until it was like few days, like 10 days before Ramadan. So, saka pa kami, sige, tara na, pumunta. Sumama na talaga tayo sa kanila. We booked our ticket 10 days before our actual flight. So, yung flight namin was on February 13 and we booked our tickets around February 28. So, saka pa kami nag-finalize and that's one of the reason why medyo nag-aalinlangan din kami kasi you're supposed to book your tickets 3 months or 4 months prior to your actual flight because you get the best deal. Nasa around 30,000 per head to 40,000 per head yung ticket nyo round trip. But if you're gonna book like a few days, especially Ramadan season, it's going to be expensive. So we book our tickets in Emirates na talaga mismo and I remember it was very, very hesitant kasi it was 140,000 round trip na kami. Round trip na kaming mag-asawa. But, konti lang kasi yung difference niya with other airlines, around 10,000. So, gusto ko talagang matry yung A380 na plane na yun, kaya hinabol talaga namin. And we wanted to stay a little bit in Dubai. So, maraming factor why we wanted to go on that trip. So, our flight was Manila and then Dubai. And then we stayed for a day in Dubai. And then from Dubai, we fly to Jeddah. And then from Jeddah, nag-bus kami papuntang Makkah. We stayed in Makkah for a week and then we booked another hotel during nung nasa Makkah na kami and we traveled by bus from Makkah to Medina and then from Medina we stayed there for about 4 days and then on our 5th day we went back to Jeddah and Makkah kasi yung dadaanan mo Medina, Jeddah and Makkah and then we stayed in Makkah for the rest of the Ramadan. After the Eid, a day, like 2 days after Eid, we traveled back to Jeddah where we stayed for another 3 days. And then we traveled from Jeddah to Riyadh for a day. And then we stayed in Riyadh for 5 days. And then we went back to the Philippines from Riyadh, direct flight from Riyadh to Manila. So, it's a bit exhausting. Kaya sinasabi ko, if you're not that type of person na parang, ano ka, ay, ang dami naman ginagawa niyan, ang hassle naman yan, ayoko ng ganyan, blah, 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 ganyan. If you're really not that type of person that goes on adventure like us, it's really not for you. But it doesn't mean that you do like, but you don't need to hate people who does it kasi gusto nila yung ginagawa nila. If you don't like it, then you can try doing stuff on your own way. That's the reason we want DIY kasi marami din kaming gustong gawin and ma-experience na hindi gusto ng ibang tao. So, yun lang yung parang whole itinerary namin. So, sa iba, pag naririnig nila yon, that's very exhausting. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Well, you do it. Gawin mo. Kasi meron din kami ibang ginagawa. We stayed in Dubai for a day, 15 hours to be exact. Nag-overnight kami doon. And a lot of you guys were asking, how did we get our tickets? How did we book our flights? If you book Emirates directly, they provided you visa and hotel. If yung layover mo is more than 8 hours. So, pasok na dapat talaga kami dun sa layover because our layover is more than 15 hours. Kaya pasok kami dun sa free hotel and free visa. But, here's the thing. That can only happen if si Emirates mismo yung nag-decide at pumili ng other flight mo, like layover mo. And then, there is no other flight after nung flight mo na mas mabilis. May getting the point. For example, sa amin is Manila, Dubai, Dubai, Jeddah. There are other flights actually going to Jeddah na hindi kailangan ng mas mahabang layover. So, merong 2 hours lang yung layover, merong 4 hours, merong 5 hours lang yung layover. Kasi it's a usual route ng mga nag-uumra, yung Manila, Jeddah, and then Dubai. So, usual route nila yon. Kaya, napakarami ng flights nila that cater to that timeline. The thing is, I intentionally did not choose that flight. I intentionally choose to stay in Dubai kasi gusto kong magstay. Hindi dahil wala ng other flights. There are actually other flights na pwede kaming mag-layover for only 2 hours and darating na kami sa Jeddah. And yun yung original flight namin. Yun yung binigay sa amin ni Emirates. Because as much as possible, they don't want giving people free visa and free hotels unless they really don't have a choice. May mga flight na gano'n. For example, flight from Paris and then you stay in Dubai for 8 hours and then from Dubai you fly back to Australia. So, walang choice kundi magkaroon ka ng mahabang layover. And that was the reason bakit merong Dubai Connect. For those flight na mataas talaga yung layover, like there's no choice, the other flight is 8 hours away. But for our flight, merong 2 hours, merong 4 hours, we just intentionally did not choose that flight. So, hindi kami binigyan ng free hotel ni Emirates. So, we had to book our hotel with our own money. So, nag-book kami ng hotel doon sa likod mismo ng airport. But, they were nice enough to give us free visa. So, makakakuha ka pa rin ng free visa. UAE actually, United Arab Emirates, they're very maluwag when it comes to giving visa kasi they want tourists to come into their country. So, hindi kami nagkaroon ng masyadong problema on getting that visa. And even nung last time na pumunta ako ng Dubai, sobrang dali ko din nakakuha ng visa. I only needed my passport and that's it. Wala na akong ibang pinakita or ganyan. You can get their visa online and mabilis yung processing, around 3 to 5 days and you get your e-visa. So, yung nangyari sa amin, dun mismo sa Emirates website, there is a Dubai Connect right there na pwede kang mag-click ng visa and then you can input your information on your flight and then they will send you your visa after 48 hours. So, nakakuha kami ng e-visa and then nagstay kami sa Dubai because my husband have not yet been to Dubai. And we really wanted that na ma-experience namin yung Dubai together. Nagstay kami doon and ang kinuha ko na hotel is yung merong free shuttle. Yung free shuttle niya, 30 minutes yung shuttle from the airport to your hotel. But actually, very convenient kasi every 10 to 15 minutes lang yung shuttle na yun. Kaya, very convenient for us. So para sa akin, traveling to Dubai is actually fun. It's very easy. It's very safe. It's very durable. So I think Dubai is one of the country that I will go back again and again kasi madali lang talaga lahat doon. Parang napaka-spoiled mo doon. So kung basta marunong ka lang magbasa, confident ka, you know how to read directions, it's actually a country na you can travel alone for the first time. Namin talaga pinalagpas yung oras. We went to Dubai Mall, we went to see Burj Khalifa, and then we went to Global Village. We wanted to do other things like go to Palm Jumeirah and then visit different souks and markets. But pagod na kami noon since we were traveling. So we choose our sleep. Pagkarating namin sa hotel, nagsuhor lang kami and then we went back to airport. Madali lang, malapit lang sa amin yung airport. Less than 10 minutes away and we were at the airport and we were waiting. We had the first flight to Jeddah that morning. Dumating kami ng Jeddah around 9 a.m. And there's a 1 hour difference in UAE and Saudi Arabia. So, dumating kami ng Jeddah 9 a.m. but it was 8 a.m. in Dubai. So, medyo advanced pa kami. Pagkababa namin ng airport, in Jeddah Airport, because their closest airport na meron sa Makkah is Jeddah. If you don't know that, now you know that. Walang airport si Makkah. Meron lang siyang train. From Medina to Makkah or Jeddah to Makkah, meron silang train. Pero wala silang airport. And the nearest airport you can land on is actually in Jeddah. So, pinili namin si Jeddah. Lean back a little bit. And you know how I know all of this? Because of ChatGPT. Walang nagturo sa akin. Sinerge ko lang si ChatGPT na show me or give me directions on how to get to Makkah by land trip. So ChatGPT just gave me a lot of options. Merong train and meron ding bus. So we wanted to take the train kasi hindi pa nakakasakay yung asawa ko ng Al Haramain train. I did that last time we went to Umrah. Kinagamit talaga namin is Al Haramain train because it's more convenient. This is my first time doing Umrah in Ramadan and I was so in shock with the different pricing compared to non-Ramadan days. Mas mahal ang lahat ng bagay. Even the tickets, they're a bit more expensive. So our plan is after landing, magkakalapit lang kasi yung mga train, bus. You just need to go down like on a ground floor para sumakay ng Al Haramain train. And we went there. There was no line. We go, wow, yes, walang linya. Pagdating namin doon, and it's time to buy our tickets. Sold out na pala lahat ng tickets. That was one of my mistake why hindi ako nag-book agad online. But the thing is, it's much more expensive online. And when you're doing DIY, as much as possible, gusto mong nakakatipid ka. Kasi hindi naman tayo mga bilyonaryo para magwaldas ng pera kung saan-saan. So, we wanted to be more convenient. Gusto namin, mas matipid pa rin yung DIY namin since we have used a lot of money already. Ako, plan ko talaga is bumili online but I didn't. So, next time, keep that in mind. If you're gonna do train during Ramadan season, like it's holiday season, it's better to be safe than sorry. Tinry namin mag-book but it was sold out. And the next available slot is next day. So, we had to sleep sa Jeddah kung mag-aantay kami ng tickets na yon. The thing is, Jeddah and Makkah is only 1 hour apart. So, I said, mag-taxi na lang tayo. The taxi was 400 riyal, 400 SAR for one way. Kasi yun yung mga nang-scam eh. Yun yung mga nag-aabang sa airport. But you can actually get a ride from Jeddah to Makkah as low as 30 riyal to 40 riyal. Pero yung pupuntahan mong lugar is hindi sa airport. You need to go to this sketchy place somewhere along the market. I forgot the name of the place. Tinuro sa amin yun ng mga pinsan namin, hindi ko na maalala. So, next time, if you cannot book a ride sa train, mag-bus ka na lang, or if you don't want to ride a bus, mag-private car ka, pero wag kayong kukuha ng sasakyan on the airport mismo or by the mall or somewhere na medyo touristy kasi dun talaga mas mahal. So, you need to ask someone na local kasi alam talaga nila kung saan ka makakakuha ng lesser price. And sometimes, Filipinos there, nag-aano rin sila. Nagbibiyahe rin sila. So, kung may kakilala ka sa kanila, it's better for you to contact them. The bus was only 49 real, so it was only the two of us. Easy peasy for us. So, for someone na medyo maarte, they don't want to be bothered or ayaw nilang ma-hassle, it's not really for you. Again, DIY is just for certain type of people. It's not for everybody. Mas convenient pa rin. Really depends sa iyo kung anong lifestyle mo, kung ano yung mga gusto mo, kung ano yung mga bet mo. Really depends on you. So, ayun lang. Makinig ka sa DIY ko if you have the same spirit. Like, you like adventuring. Pero if medyo maselan ka, medyo marami kang ganyan, this is not for you. Just listen for the adventure, but don't try to do things that I do. Because I'm telling you, you need to have the heart for it and the energy for it because it's not for everybody. So, right after that, saktong-sakto na it was prayer time. 12 noon yung dating namin. And you know what happened during prayer times. Everything is closed. Even especially during Ramadan, even the road is closed and everybody just stops where they at and they pray. So you have to wait. Doon kami binaba sa bridge mismo and then we had to wait for a few minutes, like probably 10 minutes after Sala. And after Sala, saka kami naglakad. Hindi kami nakapasok doon sa road mismo papunta sa hotel namin. And usually, ang nangyayari, ganun talaga. Doon ka talaga binababa. Especially if it's a crowded time. And merong mga lalaki doon, like Pakistani or Bangladesh, na they will help you out, but you have to pay them around 50, 100, depende sa pag-usapan nyo, depende sa baggage nyo. Babayaran mo sila, dadalhin nila sa'yo yung baggage mo going to your hotel. But at that time, since salanga time siya, since prayer time nga siya, walang masyadong taong nandun. So we had to carry everything ourselves. Pagkarating namin sa hotel namin, pawis na kami ng asawa ko and gutom na gutom pa kami because it was Ramadan and we decided, even though we were traveling and we had the valid excuse to break our fast, hindi kami nag-break ng fast kasi sabi ko, malapit lang naman, like we can do this, ganyan. Pagkarating namin doon, nilagyan namin ng tubig yung lalamunan namin because we really wanted to drink a water, but it was just a few hours before iftar. Sabi ko, itulog na lang natin to. Pagkarating namin ng hotel, we rested. Awang-awa sa akin yung parents ko because yung pawis namin, ganyan talaga, ang init-init. And, you know, in Ramadan, and especially in Saudi Arabia in Ramadan, during that time, tulog yung mga tao kasi baliktad yung oras nila. By 1 p.m., most of them are, after praying Dhuhr prayer, most of them goes back to sleep and then they wake up sa asar time na. And then, yun na yung parang morning nila. So, natulog lang kami and then we wake up at asar. Tapos, ayun na. We continued our fasting. It was such an adventure. It's really an adventure, actually. Napaka-adventure talaga niya. And it's very memorable, but I love doing adventure with my husband. Dati gusto ko mag-adventure, but sometimes doing adventure alone, you get lonely sometimes. Not every time. Most of the time, I'm actually very happy doing things all by myself. It gives me a lot of confidence in myself. Parang nakakagaan ng pakiramdam that you know that you can do things on your own. But, having a partner, having a husband, or anyone actually that goes along with you, very cooperative, sakto lang kayo, swak na swak kayo as adventure buddy. And that's my husband. So, I love traveling the world with him. I love adventuring along with him kasi yung mga gusto ko, gusto rin niya. So, parang vibes na vibes kami doon. So, we don't need to argue. We rarely argue about stuff sa adventures namin. If you're gonna do DIY, hindi lang sa Umrah, but in most adventures, if you are going to adventure with someone, make sure that you are compatible with them. Sometimes, even hindi mo sure, doon mo malalaman na, okay, lesson learned pala sa akin. Hindi ko na ito isasama sa mga travel ko. Kasi doon mo makikita kung anong klaseng, you think you're good, you think you're cool, and then when it comes to traveling out of the country together or going somewhere else, dun mo talaga mararamdaman yung differences nyo, like, oh, we're just not really compatible as travel buddy because our vibes just don't work together. So if you're thinking of doing DIY umrah, someone that you can actually magka-level kayo or compatible kayo. Imagine nyo na lang, kasi money is gonna be something na pag-aawayan nyo talaga when you're traveling. Because someone has a budget and then the other one does not have the same budget. So, imagine nyo si person A merong 100K as pocket money and then si person B wala. Probably 20,000 at umaasa lang siya sa mga ibibigay sa kanya or donation or yun lang talaga yung kaya niya. And this person really just wanted to go umrah and wala siyang planong, I don't wanna go shopping, hindi ako mamimili, hindi ganyan. Gusto ko lang maging, to go umrah and find my soul, ganyan. And then si other person, talagang meron siyang 100,000, meron siyang budget, like she wants to experience, gusto niya mamili, gusto niya kumain ng maayos, this is a one in a lifetime chance to do. So, pinaghandaan talaga niya. And then, you do DIY together. Like, you do travel together. And dun mo napapansin na parang, ako, si person 1, labas ng pera. Tapos, etong si person B, hindi man lang nag-aambag. Of course, walang maambag yung tao kasi nga, hindi siya, in financial status, you're not the same. Pag may kakain kayo, you want to try this viral restaurant na nakikita mo sa TikTok. The other person does not want to try it kasi bakit pa natin ito-try yan? Food are all the same. We just need something that give us energy. So, hindi talaga kayo magkakasundo. Imagine sa hotel nyo pa lang, hindi kayo magkasundo ng hotel. Like, this person B, tipid na tipid siya. Ang hinahanap niya kung ano yung pasok sa budget niya. Si person A, he wants or she wants something na comfortable siya. So, hindi kayo it doesn't make sense going on adventure to someone na sinama mo lang. So, kailangan piliin mo ng maayos talaga kung sino yung compatible mo financially first kasi you're gonna fight because of money a lot. Ngayon, so hindi naman trust me, when you're there, you will. And then, next one is kung gaano sila kaselan, kung gaano sila kaarte, do they have the same adventureness and tawag dito para endurance like you when you go adventuring with someone who's not the same, you're not compatible in endurance, in strength, in financial status, you're not gonna enjoy it as much as you do want to unless ililibre mo sila, unless yes my baby one, unless ililibre mo sila or they're just tagging along and example magdi-Disney kayo, nakaupo lang sila doon tapos ikaw you are nag-iikot-ikot ka sa lugar. Sometimes most of the times you're actually more tolerable if it's a family member, but what if it's not a family member, it's a friend or it's a workmate or a colleague. So ayun, medyo dun magkakaroon ng mga aberya. So adventuring is fun, but it's only fun if you're doing it with the right people and with the right person. Yes, my baby. What do you want? Kaya isa rin yun sa mga reason kung bakit the only adventure buddy that I have is my husband. Another example is when we went to Bangkok with my mom. Namili kami. It was like my first official pasabay. My mom she had an accident before, so she cannot walk properly. And it was the first time na lumabas siya ng ibang bansa. She just wanted to stretch her legs. And in-invite ko, sabi ko, Mama, unot ka. Kasi, para makapag-exercise siya, maglakad-lakad, makapag-adventure na siya again. Pangit. Ang nangyari, ginagawa namin, iniiwan-iwan na lang namin yung mama ko. She cannot walk 10,000 to 20,000 steps a day like we do. But it's my mom, so I'm more tolerable with her. Pumunta kami ng Medina, nag-bus kami, and then nung pumunta pa kami from Jeddah to Riyadh, nag-bus din kami sa 12-hour ride. Mas pinili naming mag-bus kaysa sa mag-flight kasi ang dami-dami naming baggage nung time na yon, and it's gonna cost us a lot of money if we bring that baggage to a domestic flight. So sabi namin, sige, mag-bus na lang tayo. It was quite an adventure. We see like half of Saudi Arabia kasi nag-road trip kami. It's 12 hours road trip. Umalis kami ng Jeddah around 5 a.m. Dumating kami ng Riyadh 9 p.m. But that's because we had to stop over in Makkah again. Bumalik kami ng Makkah. Nag-stop over kami doon and we waited for 2 hours. So that's another 2 hours spent na we wasted. So if you have a topic in mind that you want to tackle or you want to talk about, maybe you can comment down it here. But I'm not so sure about this podcast actually. I'm just trying to make it to the fourth episode, and I'm actually thinking of doing like a reading your stories or your entries, but I'm still not sure about that. So let's see kung saan. And that's actually it. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you on my next episode. Bye.